Humility and charity are connected. August 31st, 2025. In this week's Gospels, Jesus gives a teaching about humility, the practical benefits of humility, actually, and then seemingly veers off into an unrelated teaching about charity to the poor. But the two are actually connected. So let's look at this. Quoting Jesus, "When you are invited to a feast, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, 'My friend, move up to a higher position.' Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table." Jesus' words here make obvious sense, right? And notice that they're not spiritual. It's just good Semitic common sense. Don't exalt yourself, and that way you can avoid needless embarrassment. Perfectly fine. Now, Joseph Tetlow, the Jesuit priest, in his book Always Discerning, points out that the essence of humility is not thinking less of myself, but it is a habit of accepting whatever life gives me. And exhibit A for this is Jesus Christ, who, as Tetlow points out, walked into situation after situation where he was often surprised, sometimes by the lack of faith of people, such as at Nazareth, and sometimes by the magnitude of people's faith, as with the Roman centurion. But in every case, Jesus more or less just let it be, in the famous words of his mother to the angel, which were later quoted by Paul McCartney. Now, I find this view of humility very inviting because it saves me the trouble of battling against reality. But let's now move on to the second part of the reading about giving to the poor. Jesus ends this week's teaching with a statement about what we call charity, giving to the poor. Quote, "When you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you." Now, initially, this second half of the teaching seems little related to the first part about humility. I mean, other than both being about behavior at a banquet, the teachings seem unrelated. However, I think we are missing something. For guidance, let's look back to the first reading from Sirach. It follows the same pattern, a long teaching about humility, followed by a short one about charity. The long one, "My child, conduct your affairs with humility, and you will be loved more than a giver of gifts," Sirach 3:17 and several following verses, followed by the single verse about giving alms. "Alms atone for sins," Sirach 3:30. Now, is this connection a coincidence? Probably not. A dose of humility, wisely, makes me take the lesser seat at the banquet. And then while I'm sitting there, I will perhaps reflect on the fact that I am very damn lucky to be getting a meal at all, and that will lead to perhaps opening the purse and giving a few coins to the poor who are not eating at all. So, yes, humility does lead to almsgiving, and how smart of Jesus to see that connection. Piece of good news, my parish actually helps make this easy. There's a link to the neighborhood food bank right on the very same page as we use for making contributions to the church. Point taken. Have a good week.